What's going on, my fellow duelists and or hyper hedgehogs? It is your boy Hypershatic46 coming back at you again with another duelist lesson. So last time we talked about XZ monsters and synchro monsters. Not only that, we also talked about effect monsters and let me see, and normal monsters. So now we're going to continue on the talk about monsters because there are still a couple things I have yet to go over, but those will be covered in this video. So let's put them away and jump right in. So now let's say we have a monster on the field, a little puzzle solving game. All right, so let's say we have a monster on the field and we have another monster face down. Now you would think that if a monster is face down, you could just destroy it, right? No problem, easy attack, easy destroy. However, that is not the case. The case is that each monster comes with, hold up if I can get this out the sleeve with one hand. Each monster comes with a certain attack and certain defense number. Like I said, same with every monster card. Though there are some that have a question mark for it, but those will be more or less effect monsters. So as you can see, this card, Mystical Elf, has 800 attack and 2000 defense. But considering it was set face down, its attack means nothing. Its defense is what's taken into account. For Magna Drago, the monster that was set face up attack, its attack is what is considered to be the most important. So let's say Magna Drago were to attack Mystical Elf while it's face down. You would think that, Mystical Elf has an attack of 800, Magna Drago has an attack of 1400, and Mystical Elf is destroyed. That's not true. Since Mystical Elf was in defense, her defense number is what is taken into account. So Magna Drago attacks her, Magna Drago would be in the bad place here, because his attack is 1400 and Mystical Elf's defense is 2000. So Mystical Elf would still be on the field, where Magna Drago would be, well, he wouldn't be destroyed, but he wouldn't have destroyed Mystical Elf. Now with this, I'm going to quickly go into the talk about life points. If you're dueling with someone and something like that happens, whoever launched the attack against the defense position monster will lose life points equal to the amount that is due. So, like I said, with Magna Drago attacking Mystical Elf, Magna Drago has 1400, of course, Mystical Elf has 2000. Whoever attacked using Magna Drago would lose 600 life points because they wouldn't have been able to destroy Mystical Elf using Magna Drago. But let's say Mystical Elf was an attack, and so was Magna Drago. If Magna Drago were to attack, since Mystical Elf is not in defense, her attack is what matters, and her attack is 800. So Mystical Elf would be destroyed and sent to the graveyard. So, like I said, with that being said, positioning of your monsters is important. You don't really just want to set all your monsters in defense or just put them all on the front lines and say, well, let's just attack at all cost. You want to kind of, keep a bit of a strategy to it. Think about like I said, strategize what you want to do, because I mean, if you see that your opponent is setting monsters, you don't particularly just want to throw a monster out there and say, okay, well, you know what, let's throw you out there, attack everything, balls to the wall. You kind of want to put your strong monsters out there, because you have a better chance that one of the monsters that are face down is a monster you can destroy and not screw you over. But yeah, all right. Well, let's try it with the new cards. Let's give Magna Drago and Mystical Elf a bit of a break. I do have some other cards. Let's try Cyber Dragon and one of my personal favorites, Angmaril the Fiendish Monarch. Now, Angmaril the Fiendish Monarch has 2400 attack, and Cyber Dragon has 2100 attack. So both of these are effect monsters. as you can see, because as we went over in the last video, effect monsters are orange and normal monsters are yellow. So, let's say if these two were to, go against each other. Well, let's say it's your turn, and you were, both monsters are in attack position, and you were to, well, attack a monster that's stronger than your monster. Well, because you did that, not only does your monster go to the graveyard because the monster you're attacking has a higher attack than you, but now you also lose life points, kind of like with the whole defense and attack thing. If you attack a defense monster with a attacking monster that's not strong enough, you lose life points by like that. It's sort of the same concept, except now that both monsters are in attack position, the monster who attacks is sent to the graveyard now, and you will still lose life points for it. So you kind of want to be careful with what you do. Like, let me kind of set something up here, just kind of like to see if you guys have been keeping up. So let me see here. Let me take just a couple monsters out just for fun. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have Mystical Elf set. I'm going to have Neo the Magic Swordsman in attack. Let's see here. I'm going to have Garbage Lord in attack. And Herald of Creation in defense. I know, I'm trying not to make a pattern of attack, defense, attack, defense. I'm sorry. And now on this side, let's say we have Mystical Elf face down. We'll have Magna Drago in face up attack, Angmarl face up attack, and Cyber Dragon face up defense. Ah, god dang it. I really, no, we'll just put Cyber Dragon in attack. So, in this case, let's say if Magna Drago were to launch an attack against Neo the Magic Swordsman. Well, Magna Drago would be destroyed because Neo the Magic Swordsman has an attack that's higher than him. So Magna Drago would be sent to the graveyard and Neo would be okay. I would lose life point damage because of it. Now let's say if Neo were to attack Cyber Dragon, well, since Cyber Dragon has a higher attack, now Neo is destroyed. Now let's say my Angmarl the Fiendish Monarch attacks Herald of Creation over here. Well, now since Herald of Creation's in defense, my opponent won't lose life points, but now the attack of Herald of Creation does not matter. The defense is what matters, and since she has a low defense versus his attack, he has 2400 attack. Sorry, that little sticker there is in the way. Now Herald of Creation is sent to the graveyard, and so now you have the upper hand. I put Garbage Lord in attack for a good reason, because let's say if he attacks a face down, well, since the face down is Mystical Elf, here's what happens. Garbage Lord's attack is 0. It's garbage. Hence the name Garbage Lord. But now he'll lose 2,000 attack. He'll lose his owner 2,000 life points for trying to launch the attack, and Mystical Elf will still stay on the field just fine. Now let's say if Angmarl were to attack Garbage Lord. Well, now since Garbage Lord is in attack, now my opponent will lose life point damage because of it, and Garbage Lord will ultimately be destroyed. Now that only leaves the face down, which is also Mystical Elf. So if either of these two, Cyber Dragon or Angmarl, were to attack the face down Mystical Elf, she would be sent to the graveyard, being a good move. So, yeah. So we went over attack and defense. Okay, well, I might as well go over the last little part about monsters that I can think of for right now off the top of my head. So, when summoning a monster, you can only summon one monster per turn. So, when you summon a monster, like I said, only one monster per turn, one normal summon, because there are two types of summons. There are normal summons, and then there are special summons. You can only normal summon one monster per turn, but then you can special summon as many monsters per turn as you can, well, as need be, because remember, there are only 5 slots available for both monsters and spell and traps, and like I said, you can only have 5 monsters on the field at a time. So if you were to normal summon or set setting, of course, being face down, and normal summoning would be face up attack. So you only, like I said, only normal summon one monster per turn, or you could special summon. And like I said, you can special summon as many monsters as you want. Go crazy if you want to. Like, just as long as it's a special summon. And if it's a normal summon, remember, I can't stress this enough because that's happened to me so many times where I've accidentally tried to normal summon something normal summon more than one monster in one turn. I can't stress it enough. But you have special summoning. Like I said, special summoning like a Cyber Dragon's going to be the best sort of example for me, because his effect is that if there is a monster on an opponent's side of the field and I control 0 monsters, I can special summon him from my hand, and that would be a great strategy to special summon him. And if just in case if I have another monster in my hand, normal summon it, so that way I can get 2 monsters for the price of 1 turn. So yeah, that's a special summon because I special summon him, and since I hadn't normal summon yet, I can still normal summon another monster. So, yes. Now, here's the thing. Like I said in the first video, each monster comes with a specific level, ranging from 1 to, I believe, either 10 or 12. I have to check. But in order to summon a monster that's more than 4, you will have to tribute monsters on the field. Because with the level 1 through 4 star monsters, you can just normal summon them right off the bat. Like, there's no problem. You can just, of course, like I said, just normal summon them. Sorry, that's a level 5. You can normal summon as long, like I said, normal summon as long as it's level 1 through 4. You're good. 4 is the max that you can go without tributing. Now, let's say if I wanted to summon like a 5 or 6 star monster. Well, as long as I have one monster on the field, I can tribute that monster by sending it to the graveyard, and that will allow me to normal summon a higher level monster. The way how it goes is that to normal summon levels 5 through 6, you need 1 card as tribute. To normal summon a 7 through 8, you need 2 cards. A 9 through 10, 3 cards, and so on and so forth. Now, one thing you really want to pay attention to is what element the monster is. Well, I call them elements because you have many different elements, and hopefully I have enough to show off. Let me see. Yes, you want to pay attention to the elements a lot, because you may pull like a spell, trap, or maybe even an effect monster that kind of need you to pay attention to that sort of thing. And if you don't know what you're dealing with, then you're kind of you're basically digging yourself a grave at that point. So yeah, just keep that in mind, because like, I know I'm gonna say this a lot, but I cannot stress it enough, because I've learned from experience myself that if you don't pay attention to that stuff, you're gonna regret it big time. So in fact, let me get my brother's deck as well, because I could use some of his monsters as a sort of an example for this. So let me see here. Sorry, this is gonna take me a little bit. I'm sorry if you guys get bored. Feel free to fast forward the video to skip this sort of part. Yeah, cause I'm just trying to find the specific sort of cards. Alright, so there are many sort of elements of monsters. You have your dark monsters, you have your wind monsters, you have water, fire, I already said dark, you have earth, and you have light. I believe that's all of them. I have to check on that, because I don't think I've really seen any other elements than those. But oh yeah, there are more. There are divine monsters, and I don't have a divine monster. That's kind of sad. I probably will get one soon. I am going to buy a card pack really soon. Thumbs up, I get some very good cards. Yeah, why don't you show your support for the thumbs up by thumbs upping this video, liking it, sharing it with your friends. help spread that duelist, that protagonist good luck. The Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist good luck. But you have your fire monsters, you have your water monsters, you have your wind monsters, you have your dark monsters, you have your light monsters, earth, divines, and yeah, that's just about it. Now, you really, like I said, you really want to pay attention to both the elements and the types of, you know, types of the cards, because like I said, their effects, spells or traps, they might affect the element of the card, or they might need what type of card it is, like a normal or effect. So yeah, you really want to pay attention to that. But other than that, I believe that is it about monsters. So let's see here. We covered elements, level, tribute summoning, effect and normal, attack and defense. I think that's about it for monsters. I really expected there to be more to do on monster cards, but I think that's it. Please comment below if I missed anything about monsters. I'd be really happy to go and do more on monsters in another episode, but yeah, I believe that's it. Like I said, I don't have any fusion monster cards, so um, yeah, sadly I won't be able to do fusion monsters yet. But I swear on my life, the second I get a fusion monster and a polymerization spell card, I'll get into that when I do spells. I will do a video on fusion monsters. Even though I did kind of explain what Xe and Synchro monsters were, I am going to dedicate episodes specifically to those types of monsters. So, yes, you guys are in for a real treat. Well, that concludes us for this lesson for today. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and hyper chat it on. Thank you. Chaos, control that like button really hard in the face, and I will see you all next time. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy.